the new year, 2024, and yes, you're going to be seeing another vision board, new year goals setting video. So if you're new here, my name is Indy. I'm known as Do This by Indy on Instagram and TikTok. So in the previous video, I talked about having yearly goals versus quarterly goals and why I prefer quarterly goals. So I'm going to be giving you my yearly vision, but then going to break it down by quarter what my plan is, starting with quarter one and then moving forward to quarter 2 and 3 later in the year. I'm also gonna go over what I did last year in terms of these goals and how I'm going to improve it for this year. So let's just jump right in to what my 2024 vision is. And the categories are very similar to what I wanted to achieve last year, but again, just how can we improve it for this year? So first things first is pop-ups. Second, having YouTube growth. Third, being expanding my niche. And then fourth, having creative outlets that's outside of my iPad. So for last year, I feel like I set these goals up, but then I had a hard time just following through because I didn't have actionable steps towards it. But for this year, I think when it comes to setting goals, I'm going to try the 50-50 goal setting, which is 50% achievable, but 50% impossible. That way I can really challenge myself because I feel like if it is 100% achievable, then it's just easy for me to just check it off and then I won't have any more goals for the rest of the year. I feel like with goals, it shouldn't be a guarantee that you'll check it off the box. I think you should have a little bit of a challenge so that you can work towards that goal rather than just knowing that you're going to achieve it. So the goal here is to really just dream big because why not? Okay, so let's get started with the goals and the yearly vision. So one of my yearly visions is to increase my pop-ups. So last year I did 3 pop-ups and they were all very spontaneous. It just kind of happened and landed on my lap. I had 2 local retailers reach out to me asking if I would do a pop-up for them, and I really enjoyed it. I feel like these pop-ups were such a serendipitous moment because, like I said, like it just kind of happened. I did have like a goal to do pop-ups more that year, but it just happened around the summer, and then the same retailer reached out for the fall. I got a random referral for the winter time. So I had 3 pop-ups, and for this year I want to actually plan these pop-ups with my goal being 4 pop-ups for this year, and one of them being in New York because I feel like I've only been doing New Jersey, and I lived in New York for a while and attended some of the craft shows, and they were all just so fun and the community there is great. So I definitely want to try that out along with some pop-ups in New Jersey. So for this quarter, my main goal is to just plan for these pop-ups for the rest of the year, the ones that are open and ready for me to sign up. I actually initially wanted to do once per quarter, but then I realized that it's probably going to be hard because it's winter and no one in New Jersey really does any craft shows or pop-ups. It's pretty rare because no one's going to go out. I think the last ones are like winter markets right before the holiday time period, but around January, Feb, maybe even March, it's kind of dead because, like I said, it's winter here, it's cold, no one wants to go out, so it's not really worth anybody's time to have a pop-up. So instead of setting myself up for failure, I think my plan for this quarter is to just plan for the year and see how I can get some pop-ups for maybe Q2. Okay, the next category is the YouTube growth. I think my goal was always to have my YouTube monetized at some point. And I think for last year, I expected to be monetized. So towards the end of 2022, I had, I think, about 500 or so subscribers, and my hours viewed was very high because I had a few videos just kind of blow up. And I really thought that I was going to like be monetized by, I don't know, the summer, I think. But then for some reason my subscriber count just plateaued. Everything just plateaued. My best videos weren't performing anymore. So I think that's what happened with my motivation as well. I think when I saw that, like, oh, no one's watching my videos anymore, like, this monetization goal is not going to happen. So I think I was very sporadic when it came to posting videos, and I was just never consistent again with posting. I think I would just do it when I wanted to. I was very focused more on like TikTok, Instagram, and things like that rather than this YouTube channel. But I feel like this is the year that I'm gonna be very consistent, because I don't know if it's the new year, new me talking and just setting goals that's talking, but I feel like I'm more motivated. I feel like I'm hungry enough to get this YouTube channel rolling. So the goal for this quarter is to post 3 times a month or 9 times in the quarter. I initially was going to do once a week for the whole quarter, but then knowing myself, I feel like I would definitely get burnt out, and then I would be unmotivated to continue, because I feel like if I miss 1 week and I plan to post that 1 week, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, like I can also miss another week because that 1 week did nothing. But then I think psychologically, if I tell myself you have 1 week break, then I'm more motivated to just keep going and like not miss any other deadlines, because I did have that break. So I think it's beneficial for me to have that wiggle room and that leniency to just skip a week, because that is my break week. I'm not going to feel bad for missing that week, because my goal is just 3 times a month. And if I decided that I'm going to post 4 videos that month instead of 3, then I overshot myself and I exceeded my goal. Another goal of mine for YouTube is to post more on YouTube Shorts, because I feel like it's very similar to TikTok and then Instagram Reels, which I'm already doing, so I might as well post it on YouTube Shorts as well. So I think my goal for the quarter is to post 4 times on YouTube Shorts, because like I said, I'm already doing it, and the videos that I'm making most of the time can be repurposed for YouTube Shorts. So on the topic of YouTube growth, my third category is expanding my niche. I feel like when it comes to YouTube and also my other channels like TikTok and Instagram, it's very based off of my Etsy videos, my artsy artist videos, and pop-up related videos. So I feel like I want to just expand outside of that, because I feel like most of the time when I'm like niching down to these artsy videos, I'm kind of just limiting myself, and I've felt that way for the last few months when it came to creating content, because I feel like I can't think of any more things to do when it comes to art or pop-ups or Etsy, because I've done a lot of them already. So I'm just like stuck on what to make next. And I think that's why I haven't been consistent with a lot of things, because I've been in this like creative block. And plus, I think there's just like more to me than just art and my small business. I feel like I love to read, I love to cook, and I would love to do more of that on this YouTube channel. So as a quarterly goal, I think I'm going to make it a goal to have at least 1 video that is not related to art, small business, or pop-up or Etsy. I'm gonna have something that is different, whether it's books I've read or a cooking video, because like I said, there's just more to me than just all this artsy stuff. And the next yearly vision that I have is to have more creative outlets that's not my iPad. So I really want to reduce my screen time this year, and also I wanted to find new ways to be creative. So I think last year I kind of tried to do this with needle punching. So I feel like every Christmas of the previous year I asked for something that I can do for the next year, or to jumpstart a creative endeavor And so I think in 2022, I asked for a punch needle kit, which I did end up doing for the beginning of 2023. But then it kind of stopped because I realized that I need to buy like so much yarn, and I I had visions of what I wanted to make, but then I just never followed through with it because, like I said, I had to buy all this other extra yarn, and there was just too many colors that I wanted, so I never continued that. But I definitely want to pick it up again like one day because I have all this material already, so maybe I'll pick it up again later in the year. But I think one of the reasons why I want to expand my creative outlets is because I think if I stick to one thing, which is drawing on my iPad, digitally drawing, I get so much art block because I feel like I'm just like always thinking about what to draw next. What should I create next? But then if I do something else, like again, needle punching, it's like that's a whole different medium. Like there's other things that you can make that I feel like it helped a lot when it came to like being creative. So for my Q1 goal, I want to try one new thing, and I already have that idea of what I wanted to make because, like I said, I asked for something for Christmas, and this year I asked for a watercoloring kit. I got this one, the Aristro. I don't know if it's the best brand, but I'm excited to like just try it out, dip my toes in it, and see if watercoloring is for me. But I've been on TikTok a lot and just watching other people watercolor, and I'm already like ecstatic to do it. It's just a matter of me just starting it now. And I think that's probably the hardest thing is to just start that new activity. So that's my goal this quarter is just to start it. And for Q2, hopefully just continue either that or trying something else new. So that is it for this video. Those are my 4 yearly visions along with their quarterly goals or just Q1 goals. Hopefully this inspired you to set your own goals. But until then, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel.